Today we're going to show you how to trim up a brisket and get it ready for smoking on the Grill Top Experience. First thing you want to do is make sure you start with a cold brisket and use a sharp knife. The reason for that is that cold fat will cut a lot easier. If it warms up, it'll start to get a little bit mushy. And you'll notice that we use smooth, short cuts rather than a sawing motion in order to be able to get this off. That makes it come out a whole lot easier. The first real step is to remove the silver skin, those are those thin membranes on there, and any loose hanging fat off the bottom. Now for the most part, this should be pretty lean and not have a lot to take off. Step number 2 is to remove the large chunk of fat on the bottom. Now this fat will never render as you cook it, and it's not really good for anything else. I just toss it right in the bin. Now that fat seam will go in pretty deep, and so you go back with the thin slicing motions to be able to dig in there and do a little bit of surgery to be able to pull that out. Next, flip it over and get ready for the hard part. The third step is to trim the fat cap to about 1/4 inch or less. What you do is you just take a little slice in part of the brisket, you grab that piece with your other hand and pull it across. If you go a little too deep, you'll start to see the meat, and so you go a little more shallow and pull it all the way across to the very end of the brisket. You're going to repeat this process over and over again until you get it down to that 1/4 inch or less across the whole thing. Now this part of the brisket is called the point, and some people like to call it the fat part. Now the reason for that is because it has a lot more fat inside the meat, and that's why I trim it down. I almost get rid of all of the fat on this section, which will give you some pretty good burnt ends. The fourth step is to remove a big chunk of fat on the point. Now remember that this is the kind of fat that won't render throughout the cook. And if you've ever had a greasy slice of brisket, you'll be glad that you removed this chunk of fat. This chunk right here you don't want to cut off because it's the best part of the whole brisket. That's where the burnt ends come from. Step 5 is to square up the brisket. Now you want to think about your final presentation. By squaring it up, it makes it cook a little bit more even and makes sure you have even slices. And with that, you're done. Now if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more videos about grilling, smoking, and cooking with fire, go ahead and subscribe. There's more to come.